Hey everyone, welcome to the live show called Video Entrepreneurs. This show is all about helping you guys as YouTube creators know how to develop your own audiences and your channels, especially the business side around what we're doing here that makes all this content and what we're doing on YouTube sustainable, that helps our channels move forward. So we are 6 full-time YouTubers here in this show, and together we just talk about some of the issues, the roadblocks, and things we're bumping into in our own channels, and then we discuss ways. Oh, yeah, that's working. Okay. That help you guys know how to develop your own channels in those ways. So today, Lindsay is in the hot seat from The Frugal Crafter, and her channel is linked up down below. You guys should definitely go check it out. And she has a channel that's just dedicated to helping crafters make awesome stuff. I have checked in on it a few times, and it's been fun to see how all the things she's doing there. Lots of great content coming up all the time. And today she's going to talk a little bit about the discrepancy between subscribers that keep coming and joining us, and then viewers that just kind of, you know, like the average view count overall doesn't go up or declines. And that's something I've been working on here. And this show actually is a result of some of the things I've been trying to figure out with that stuff here on my own channel. So it'll be a good conversation. But first of all, though, I want to introduce you guys and thank this week's sponsor, which is audioblocks.com. Now, if you're not familiar with AudioBlocks, they are the website that I use personally for getting royalty-free music and audio for my videos, and not just on Video Creators, but also my family's channel and other places as well. So there's a link in the description below that you can go check it out and get a promo just for you guys. For $99, you can get unlimited royalty-free music downloads, sound effects from audioblocks.com for an entire year. So I'm logged into my account right here. You get music, sound effects, loops. And the nice thing about these guys that you don't get anywhere else is that it's yours to keep forever. So once you download the track, even when your subscription expires next year, you can still continue to use those tracks over and over and over again. Let me show you how I usually find stuff here. I usually go up to browse up here. Then I usually go to like, what mood am I looking for? What genre am I looking for? So let's go to like, let's say we're in a hip hop mood. Oh yeah, we're getting a groovy right here. And one of the things I like about this, as opposed to other royalty-free music sites I've used, is that you can filter a lot of this stuff to find the exact track that you want. You can change the tempo, these sliders, the duration, like maybe you need a track that's a specific length or something. And the other thing is it's really easy to preview. Like I just mouse over here and we can start getting, you know, if I want to skip ahead to one of these, see the waveform tells me kind of what to expect, and you skip ahead right to this point and it'll start playing that. I can download the MP3, the wave. I can add it to like an album, you know, if I want to right here, if I'm like trying to just do some research. Anyway, lots of really good stuff. This is what I use. I love it. Highly recommend it to you guys. Audioblocks.com, and use the link in the description of this video to get that $99 for an entire year of unlimited access. And I know that will be awesome for you guys. One other thing here is, before we get started, here is everybody. Welcome. And tweet me while we're going through this with your responses, your ideas, and the things that you're thinking of, because I'm going to be featuring your tweets and your ideas and responses, what we're discussing right here below as we get started. So, hi, Lindsay. How are you?
Great. How are you, Tim?
I'm not bad, doing better than I deserve. If you're a Dave Ramsey person, you know what that means. So, Lindsay, how can we help you today?
Well, I have a arts and crafts YouTube channel where I post daily content, and I have 214,000 subscribers, but I noticed that my views, like over the past 30 days on a particular video, is lucky to break 10,000 views. And although my overall views and watch time and whatnot go up, it seems like the people that I've gotten to hit that subscribe button just aren't coming back and watching. Mm-hmm. And when I look at my analytics and I look at my subscriber views versus non-subscriber views, it's like 72% non-subscriber views, only 28% of those views come from subscribers. So it seems like it's really out of whack there. So I was hoping that maybe you guys could help me close that gap, either get the non-subscribed viewers to subscribe or get those subscribers to actually watch. So what do you guys think?
Great question. I think every YouTube creator has dealt with this in some way or another.
Yeah. And I think we hear about it a lot in the comments as well.
Yeah.
So
So
I get typically 15 to 20% of 15 to 20% of the viewers to any given video are subscribers. Most of them are non-subscribers. So I consider that a pretty good number, 15% really.
I think it depends on your frequency. If you're posting daily, not everybody's gonna have the time to tune every day. You know, if I compare my channel to yours, we're about the same size. I'm 200 something subs. I won't get 10,000 views on most of my videos. So you're getting more views on average per video than I am, but I'm posting 3 times a day. So I think it's just a function of, if you're posting once a week, you're gonna get everybody subscribing and tuning in and watching it. But if you're posting daily, maybe the topic doesn't interest them. I know some of your videos are really long, like really long, half an hour's, you know, long in YouTube world. They may not have the time to sit through half an hour every single day. So I don't know that that's a problem. You know, like, you're posting often. If you were to post once a week, you may get higher subscribers watching, but your overall minutes would drop. In terms of getting non-subscribers to subscribe, 2 of the things that I found super helpful was, 1, editing the icon at the bottom right. Yours is just your branding, I believe.
Yeah, it's just my channel name.
I mean, I did a test. I had mine as I thought, oh, for branding purposes, I got to put it down there. I put my you know, the plain logo that was in there in the bottom right, and my new subscribers tanked. Now it says red thing that says click now, subscribe, and it had a huge increase in subscribers. So whether you want to be that in your face or not about it, then, you know, up to you, but it really has a dramatic increase. I would test it for a week doing a call to action instead of just the logo. And I think yours is like yellow. It can be hard to see sometimes, and people don't know that leads to subscriptions, a lot of people. So giving them the call to action really helps. The other thing I do is in my analytics, I look at what videos lead to subscribers, because you'll find some videos have a high lead to subscriber ratio, I guess, and others. And for those ones, you'll find like 5% of your videos lead to 90% of your subscribers, at least for me, new subscribers. And so on those videos, I make it a lot more in your face about subscribing. I put an annotation at the top for, I think, the whole video that says, if you like this video, subscribe to see more. So it's not on every video, because that's going to annoy people who are coming back and the current subscribers. But if that's the first video that you see and it's on 5% of my videos, it's big across the top on the side, you know, if you like this video, subscribe. Again, a huge dramatic boost in those 5% of the videos. It really increases it. And then at the end, I don't know if you have some kind of call to action. I was watching your wood grain background stamping thing.
I usually just ask. I ask, like, thumbs up if you liked it, and, you know, subscribe if you're. I don't like to ask before the end, because I figured if I ask them to subscribe before they see it, then they don't really have the information to go on. But I like your idea of putting that little changing the clicky button in the corner to being something a little bit like the red button, the subscribe button, or something, so it's a little bit easier to see and understand. Because I don't think people know what happens if you click that button. I think they just think it's a watermark. I don't think they understand that clicking it leads to knowing
that ask that you have at the end, like, make a visual. Do an end card that says subscribe and make an annotation I can click, because they may not know. Again, like, a lot of people are YouTube savvy, a lot of them aren't, and seeing the picture there, subscribe, makes it easier. It's worth a test, at least, to seeing if it has an increase or not for you.
is your question, Lindsay, like, how do you get the people who have already subscribed to keep watching more videos?
Yeah, how to bring back the subscribers. I mean, something moved them to hit the subscribe button, but then I wonder, do they know how to find the videos? Do they know where to look? Because if you go to youtube.com, your subscription feed doesn't pop up first. You're getting things that you'll get recommended videos, but you're not seeing what the people you subscribe to have to offer unless you click on subscriptions. And I wonder if people maybe don't understand that, or, you know, I guess I'm wondering where they're coming from, that they would hit the subscribe button but not come back and check to see if there's anything new.
So something that I would say in regarding that question right there at the end is to look at your traffic sources and in your analytics and see where the bulk of your views are coming from. I know personally, I had this exact same scenario going on with my channel. And that's because 60% of my views come from suggested. So whether they're watching your video or Tim's video or whoever's video, and then they on the sidebar there's my video. It could even be my video. Like they're watching one of my videos, and then they go start clicking this sidebar. Right, 60% of them come from that. Another 5% comes from search. So I'm assuming that your channel would probably have a higher search and suggested because it's very topical. Each video is kind of its own thing with crafting and whatnot. And so if you have that higher suggested and higher search as your traffic source, it could be those non-subscribers, right? So you're in your mind, you're reading it and going, say, well, my subscribers aren't necessarily watching the videos, and they are, but there's also a lot of new people are finding your videos, and that's also why they're subscribing, right? You're asking the question of, something made them subscribe. Well, you had this great video that was very topical for them at that time, right? Let's say the wood grain one, for example, right? And they were like, okay, this is something I was looking for. I did a search for it. I found your video. I watched it. It was very helpful. I'm going to subscribe because there might be another one in the future. But to your point, I would also look at your demographics, right? What's your age groups? You said it yourself. You go to youtube.com, which is like a natural thing for people to go. Subscriptions isn't right there in your face, right? Unless you know how to make it your default or have a bookmark that goes to your subscriptions. So when they go to youtube.com, they see what's trending, what's hot. They're seeing the popular videos, but they're not seeing all those people they subscribe to. And I think that's just an educational thing of knowing how to get back to that. And then, like I said, you have the people that you have subscribed to you, and maybe they are savvy, know how to do it. But again, they're kind of scrolling through their feed, seeing, okay, what did Lindsay post this week? Oh, how to make a scrapbooking frame. No, I'm not really into scrapbooking, and they skip it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny because I was looking at my analytics, and it's about 40% from suggested, about 20% embedded players and other sites, which would be my blog. Most likely that's like the top external site, and then about 11% from Google search. So yeah, it is pretty high in discovery. And I'm wondering if maybe like they're landing on my blog homepage and they're, scrolling through to see what I posted over the week. And then, maybe they're not clicking on anything, or they may see another video pop up in a little player and click on that. Cause my audience is a little older probably than a lot of it's 24 to 35 is the biggest group, but it's really from 18 to 65 plus. It's really strong in women, 80% women, 20% men. I don't know if maybe that particular demographic might have some sort of barrier or obstacle, I don't know, knowing how to navigate the YouTube or.
Lindsay,
I call it the YouTube. I mean, I sound like some old grandma.
Lindsay, I find that subscribers tend to watch because of you more, at least in my instance, I should say. They watch because they want to see me doing stuff. It's not as much of what I'm doing. So I like to include things that are kind of subscriber only. In other words, people who keep coming back will get these kind of recurring themes that I have in my videos, and they kind of like in on the jokes. My cat will show up or something. I've got a little graphic that shows
It's
up.
just meow meow.
It's meow meow, right? And so it's all these little things that are kind of tailored just to the subscribers, and it gives them another reason to watch beyond just the project, because a lot of people watch my videos who aren't really interested in the project, they just want to see the video.
I think that's a really good point, Steve, because there's two values that people often subscribe for to anyone only subscribes to a channel because the content's valuable to them in some way. Like, it's not because they care about Tim Schmoyer. Like, you guys, everyone watching this is either listening or watching this because they want to learn something about their channel, right? Not because they care about me per se. But that said, what Steve is saying is really important because there's always two values. And one is that value, like, I want to learn how to do woodworking. I want to learn how to ride my dirt bike better if you're Clintus. I want to learn how to be a better entrepreneur if you're Evan, or whatever the case may be. But then that relational value, like, that's what makes gaming, I think, industry work. The gaming niche on YouTube is like, I feel like I have a relationship with you and I have something invested into feeling like I'm hanging out with you and into that relationship. And I think that's one of the things that it doesn't work in every channel. And I think on video creators, that's like one thing that I miss. Like this is all about information, info download. And that's probably why the audience is primarily male, because there's not a whole lot of relational stuff happening here, which goes
I think
to
you're
demographic.
underestimating that though, Tim. I do think that people watch your channel because they like you. I mean, I know that just secondhand, people coming to my comment section where you and I have similar content. I'm not trying to go on a tangent. I guess I do have a point here, but that people do like
You can talk about how you
watching
like me, it's
that
fine.
information from you because they like you. I think it starts from a search and a discovery,
Right.
and that's the point, and that's why
Right.
we're on YouTube in the first place. But I think subscribing has to do with that content being exactly what they wanted, and then also because they like who's telling them. And you look like a guy's guy, so I think that's why it's male. So I think that's what it is. And I also think that people get really hooked on Lindsay from what I've seen, but I also think that you are so good at crafting. You're like good at every single craft I've ever heard of. So I just think that that's a lot for a subscriber who maybe is just dabbling in one type of craft and really wants to be like, I think I'm going to stick with this one and try to get really good at it. And then watercolor comes along and I was focused on foil. You know what I mean? So I'm just wondering if there's like that's the inconsistency with the subscribers. But I also think with your demo, you could still have them as YouTube subscribers, but be recruiting them to watch in other ways. And I think that's what an email list is valuable for. I think the biggest thing for you is lack of education for how to watch. And so like, just for instance, I just did that video recently about, how to get push notifications and how to make sure you're getting the videos, or how to pretty much ensure they might happen more often on your mobile device. And I think that your demo, if they have all intents and purposes of subscribing and watching on YouTube and hopefully tuning in next time they get that ping, it's because they're not educated on how to do that. So if it's educating them on how to use the app, or how to check the homepage on YouTube and guarantee you're going to be there, or how to check your subscription box, then maybe it also is just how you can make sure you're seeing the videos by subscribing to an email list that you actually control.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of maybe like since I do such a variety of projects, like I try to keep like Fridays live Friday, and I do usually a watercolor painting tutorial, but it's some sort of painting tutorial. And then like Wednesdays is all like party decor, or something like that, because it's sponsored by a company that does packaging and party decor. And so I try to keep like somewhat of a schedule in my mind, but maybe I need to make that schedule a little more public. Like beginner stamping stuff is Tuesday nights, and just maybe something like that. So if somebody's just tuning in for jewelry making, they know I need to come on Saturday to get the jewelry making tutorial of the week. Like Steve has his projects on Friday, people know that's when a new Steve video is coming out. Or I don't know if that, and I don't know, or maybe it doesn't make any sense to do that. Maybe people are just kind of hit or miss. I don't know.
Lindsay, yes, there was a comment that I wanted to highlight from My Vintage Victory, who said, can you make a subscribe logo out of a craft? I thought that might be a cool thing to put in the logo.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
My Vintage Victory there, great suggestion.
Good.
I had a few more ideas for you. One, tagging on to Amy's idea about the newsletter list. I love it. I mean, I have 70,000 people on my newsletter list. What I do is I take the most popular video of the week and I send it to my list. So if you're doing daily, they might not be able to follow all of them, but for me, I'm doing 20 videos a week. I take the most popular one and then send it off to them. And then in each video, I ask people to subscribe to the newsletter too. And you could do like Tim does too, give away a free ebook or something to get people on your list, because people open their email and it's regular much more than your channel happened to be showing up on the YouTube homepage.
Yeah. And they know how to check email, maybe not YouTube subscriptions, as we've said.
Yeah. Second thing is I would ask a question in every video. At the end, ask some questions, not just like if you want me to make something, what's your request, but ask them about a project they're working on or something that relates to the story that you're telling. Because if they respond and leave a question, they're much more likely to come back because they feel now invested into it. And if anybody replies to them, then they get a notification and they're coming back to your channel again and watching it. And then the third point tagging onto that is respond to all your comments. I mean, we talked about this, I think, offline a bit, but I get over 6,000 comments on the channel and everybody gets a response for the most part, even the haters. And if you leave a comment, then one, people are more likely to come back again. They feel appreciated and recognized, and they're much more likely to subscribe to your channel. It's easy when you have a small channel, right? I mean, people in the comments say, oh, I respond to everybody. But when you get 6,000 comments a month, that's a lot harder to respond to everybody. And my plan is to scale the team as I scale the channel and have more comments. But those three things, so email list, ask questions in every video, and then respond to all comments, I think will help you out too.
I have a question for you, Clintus, because so I'm looking at this group, and me, Evan, Amy, Lindsay, and Steve all make pretty much like educational, tutorial, teaching type of videos, whereas you, I think, are the only one here that's more in the entertainment niche. And from what I've heard and seen, typically, and one thing for all of us to consider is that like often how-to tutorial type of content is typical for them to have a lower subscriber to view ratio, because people subscribe because they liked one video and now they're just hanging out to see if they're going to get more, like they're just waiting for the next training video that's relevant to them. Whereas entertainment, there's a higher relational value. What have you seen on your channel? Do you feel like there's anything there from what you've seen as far as like, because you're more of the family vlogger, dirt biking stuff, more entertainment based? You feel like that has merit to it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I see seasonal, ups and downs with my views because kids are primarily my demographic, not by target, but just by nature. Tim keeps mentioning dirt bikes because my dirt bike videos are my most popular videos on my channel. Unfortunately, riding dirt bikes is not a regular thing for us because just by nature, the way that dirt bikes are purchased, and it's not really a thing my wife enjoys. And so it's not a family function. It's something that I grew up doing. It's something that I wanted to get my kids into. I bought them a set of dirt bikes for Christmas, and that is my #1 video to this day. 2012 Christmas, dirt bikes for Christmas. It's just crazy. So I get a bunch of subscribers from that video. They're like, oh, this family rides dirt bikes. I want to see this family ride dirt bikes. And like I said, with the suggested, they just sit and they watch one after the other, after the other, after the other, all my dirt bike videos. Now, all these videos have very low retention because they're only watching the first couple of minutes of the dirt bike and then move on to the next one. But that watch time compounds, which is why the videos continue to do well.
Yeah.
As far as the entertainment thing, I mean, if you look at my channel, right, I have 280 something thousand subscribers. My videos average about 20 to 30,000 views within like 48 hours, right? So still in that very low like subscriber to view ratio. But I've learned that it depends on what the thumbnail is and what the title of the video is. If it's a video with my kids like at the arcade or bowling or laser tag or dirt bike riding, those videos automatically get way more views from my subscribers because they see that thumbnail and it's something they want to click on and watch, right? Whereas if it's a picture of me and I'm like, oh, coffee or blah, 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 or picture me and my wife, something, those kids that are very hyper focused on, I just want to see Sierra and Bryce. They skip those videos.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I was saying to you, Lindsay, is like, maybe your subscribers clicked on something related to painting or drawing, or scrapbooking. And so they subscribed because they loved that video and you were so great about it. But even like I said, even the ones that know how to use YouTube, they scroll through and say, okay, today's video, or this week's video from Lindsay is how to draw a clementine, with pencils. It's like, oh, I don't really care about drawing, or I would never do that. Doesn't interest me. I'll skip it. Right. So there is definitely that. I think in any, everyone here has that kind of where certain things are going to be topical. Even my daily life, right, is topical to certain people. I post one a day, every day, and I have those hardcore fans that come back every single day after school or after work or whether at work or whatever. Then I have a big chunk of my subscribers that are just looking for those super specific videos, primarily the dirt bikes.
Yeah. Even though, would you say almost 300,000 subs and 20,000 views per video after 48 hours?
20, 30, yeah.
I think that's a good ratio.
Yeah, that's
personally.
10%.
Yeah, I think that's solid.
Definitely not complaining. Like I said, it's very hyper focused on like certain ones. And I also, like I said, when I said seasonal, summertime, my views triple. My views and my subscribers triple for me in the summertime. And then like right now while we're in school, my weekends are my peaks, right? My analytics literally are this like lull and then spike and then lull and spike because everyone's like binge watching, the videos on the weekends, or there's just more search traffic on the weekends. And I definitely see that seasonality. And so I love it when it's summertime, because not only are me and my kids out of school and we're out traveling and doing awesome things and videos are better, but everyone else is at home going, searching for stuff, right? Tubing on the lake or camping at Grand Canyon or whatever. And our videos do very, very well because of that.
Yeah.
How can you find out the information? Like you said, mostly subscribers were watching that. Is there like a spot in analytics where you can see that a video is being watched more by subscribers, like
Absolutely.
per video, or and how do you see that? And also, how do you see what videos are driving the most subscribers without clicking on each individual video and looking at that analytic?
I'd be more than happy to do a screen cap with you. I can actually walk you through this, but real quickly, just for the viewers and then for time's sake here, in your analytics, if you're clicking on either views or watch time in that analytic, at the top of that page, there is actually a drop-down menu. By default, it says subscribed and not subscribed. You can change that to just subscribed or just not subscribed. So that shows you the view ratio of each video or across your entire channel.
Oh, okay.
And then as far as the subscribers, if you click on your subscriber analytics page, down below below the graph, there's a spot that says video. And you can click on video and it'll show you by subscriber count which videos are driving the most subscriptions. Now, I will say this, take that kind of with a grain of salt, because a lot of people might come to your channel from a video, but then they go click on your channel to like check out your overall, what you do, what other videos do you make, that kind of thing. And then they might subscribe there. I definitely have a high subscriber count I get is from there, even though a dirt bike video is the most popular and it drives the most traffic to all my videos. It's, I don't know, numbers 8, 10 for as far as number of subscriber counts, because that's an old video, right? It's old crappy video quality. They click on the channel like, oh, he's a daily vlogger, sweet, subscribe. And that's how I get that traffic. So take it for what it is. You'll definitely see a higher subscriber count on your channel page versus each individual video.
Yeah. One other thing that I'd add to this topic too is that there's when you're doing like this tutorial stuff, as we talked about, people subscribe and they just wait for the next one. But the other thing that happens that might also be different than entertainment channels is that people's interests change. Like they might have been in like this crafting phase for like a while because maybe they were sick at home and or maybe they're recovering from surgery or what, I don't know. They're like, it was a season of life, and then they just never go back and unsubscribe. Like for me, I noticed that there's a lot of people who get really excited about YouTube. They start binge watching all my videos, and then after a few months, they're like, man, this is a lot harder. Like I publish 5 videos, I'm not getting anywhere. They get discouraged and they leave, but they don't unsubscribe from the channel, right? And then there's other people who's like, Tim, actually, we've been following you for the whole time. It's been awesome. Thank you. We've grown. We're full-time now. And now the stuff you're talking about isn't as relevant and helpful for me anymore. Hence this show and other things I'm doing now on the channel. But I think that's kind of something that just happens with DIY tutorial type of channels. That does also happen with, entertainment-based channels, but it might not be as pronounced, I guess. I don't know, as it does on ours. So. Any other last-minute burning comments on this?
I would just say that there's no hard rule of how many people who are subscribers should watch your video, and you feel like a failure if you're not getting 10% or 20% or 50%. As long as you're producing videos that you love and people are engaging with them and reacting with them, like that's where you focus on, not how do I boost my percentage 5 points or feeling like you're a failure because you're not getting those numbers.
Yes, very good point. Thank you for that.
Point.
Yep. Great. Well, thank you guys. I hope this has been helpful for everyone here who has been watching this. And again, if this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe to this channel, because this is all about helping you guys do what we've been talking about, getting subscribers, growing, and developing the business around it. If you guys are just joining in late, you can watch the replay of this video. Also, there's a podcast version that goes to iTunes and Stitcher, and also to SoundCloud, and you can listen to all the audio recordings there, plus a little extra commentary from me about some of these things as well. So subscribe to those, the links to all those down below. Also subscribe to everyone who's here hanging out with us in this, to Amy, to Steven. I called you Steven. I guess that's okay. Steven, everybody, all their channels are linked up in the description below. So you can go subscribe to Lindsay and then kind of watch what she does on her channel going forward as a result of this conversation. And that would be awesome. We'll see you guys again next week right here live, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time for Amy is in the hot seat, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Amy's in the hot seat next week. So we will see you guys then for that. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.